Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the Cloud Computing class session 31. So, in the previous session, we have discussed about cloud storage and the difference between cloud storage and local storage and storage as a service. So, what facilities will be provided with storage as a service by the cloud providers. So, in today's session, we are going to discuss about storage providers. So, there are hundreds of cloud storage providers on the web. So some of the specialized cloud providers examples we are going to discuss here. Dropbox. So this is one of the cloud storage provider. So this Dropbox has its own features. You can see it has own syncing facilities, storage capacity and all. And it has its own plans like how the billing will be charged and what are the subscription plans. So these all facilities, all cloud providers have their own. So Dropbox, this is one of the website of the Dropbox, how the features and the facility services will be made available to the user in a form of website so that the users can use it. Google Docs. So Google Docs allows users to upload documents, spreadsheets, presentations to Google's data servers. So Google Docs, we have already heard about the Google Docs. So these are the best services provided by the Google, spreadsheets and presentations. So we can make online documents, we can make online Excel sheets, we can make online presentations. So we don't need the space to store this, like we don't need the systems or we don't need the devices to store all these things. So we'll get the space to store all these things like documents, spreadsheets, presentation online. So our all files, document files, spreadsheets and presentations will be stored on the cloud, that is on the remote server. So because of that we can access it from any place, any location and using any device. Next is web email providers like Gmail, Hotmail, Yahoo. They all help to store messages on their own servers. So users can access their email from computers and other devices connected to the internet. So everyone nowadays use Gmail, Hotmail and Yahoo mails. So whatever the communication happens through the organizations or through the individuals. So a lot of people use these all email facilities, and still if you visit your emails, Gmail, you can see all your old messages, all your new messages are still stored there. So who is providing you all the space there? So these all you're using the space from the cloud, from the remote host. So you're using that space, you're using the clouds to store all these messages. So this is how it has made the users very easy to access any messages from any computers and from any devices, but you need the internet connection. Flickr and Picasa. So Flickr and Picasa host millions of digital photographs. User can create their own online photo albums. See, Flickr and Picasa is especially made for photographs, for storing your photographs digitally. So on these websites, you can create your own folders and you can upload the photos on there. No need to carry your albums everywhere. No need to carry the photos on the physical storage. No need to carry the systems everywhere. So you can upload all your photos on these Flickr, Picasa, cloud storage, and you can access it from any location. YouTube hosts millions of user uploaded video files. See, even YouTube is also very famous. So even we are using the YouTube to upload your videos so that you can access it very easily. So earlier we were uploading all our recorded video on the WhatsApp. So because of that you were facing the storage problem, because downloading the videos from the WhatsApp, then you are storing it in your devices and devices are almost full of videos. So because of that you need to delete all your data of your mobiles to make the space for new videos. So this problem will be solved if you use the YouTube medium to upload your videos. So all your videos will be uploaded on YouTube and you can access it from anywhere, and You don't need your own storage to store it. You are using the space from the cloud where all your videos are stored there, and any user can access it. And you can make these videos private, public. So whoever wants to see this video, you can make them to see this video. If you keep it public, everyone can see your uploaded videos. As we are doing it, everyone, all students can see our recorded videos which we are uploading on the YouTube, and we are making use of the cloud. GoDaddy store files and data for many client websites. So GoDaddy is especially to store the files and data for many client websites. Facebook and MySpace are social networking sites and allow members to post pictures and other content. Facebook and MySpace is also the social networking sites where we communicate with our friends, and where we upload the photos, where we send the messages, and where we communicate. So this is a social networking platform, and this is also because of the cloud. Still, if you go and visit the Facebook, you can see all your old messages, all your uploaded videos, your photos, and all your communications and all. Many of these services are provided for free, but others charge you per stored gigabyte and by how much information is transferred to and from the cloud. So many of these services like YouTube, Facebook, and etc. Okay, these are provided freely, but there are some of the website, there are some of the cloud providers which they charge you for storing the data. Some of the cloud providers provide you some free data like 10 GB, 15 GB. So when that space is fully used, then if you want to further extend it, further still you want the data to be stored, then you need to subscribe to those services, their services, and they'll charge for you when your free space memory is almost full. Next is security. So to secure data, most systems use a combination of techniques. So cloud providers provide the security to your data, and security of your data is very important part of the cloud providers. So the security which they use is encryption, which you already discussed in the previous sections. So the complex algorithm is used to encode information. Encode information means your data will be encoded, translated in some other language. So even if the unauthorized person gets your data, they will not understand anything. So to decode the encrypted files, a user needs the encryption key. So your data will reach to the receiver only for whom you are sending. And so the authorized person only will be able to decode that data using the encryption keys. So so this technique is used for securing the data. Authentication processes. So this requires the user to create name and password. So another way to secure your data is creating your own login name and password. Authorization practices like the client lists the people who are authorized to access information stored on the cloud system. For example, a frontline employee might have limited access to data stored on the cloud. Like authorization practices that like many organizations also uses this cloud technology. So which employees has the access to data and which employees can share the data. So these even this will be authorized to some specific people. Next is reliability. So if a cloud storage system is unreliable, it becomes a danger. So cloud storage system is unreliable means see now YouTube, Facebook. So these are working very properly now. So if these are unreliable, like if it is not able to fulfill all the conditions of the user, then no one will be able to use them. So these are popular because these are fulfilling all the conditions of the user. That is, these are reliable. YouTube, Facebook, and WhatsApp. These are all reliable. So if a cloud storage is providing such services, then it should be reliable and it should fulfill all the needs of the user. So no one wants to save data on an unstable system, nor would they trust a company that is financially unstable. So everyone wants to save their data on a properly provided storage with all the conditions, with all the security, and with all the reliability. So all the time, the services which they are providing should be stable, should keep on stable, should keep on working. So most cloud storage providers try to address the reliability issues through redundancy. So redundancy means even if one of the server is crashed or down, then you can get your data from another server, because cloud storage providers are providing, they are providing distributed servers. So even if one of the server is crashed or down, you can get your data from the another server. So redundancy backup solution will be provided with these storage facilities. Next is advantages. So with cloud storage, data resides on the web, located across storage systems rather than at a hosting site. So with cloud storage, your data resides on the web, so located across storage systems rather than at a hosting site. So your data will be residing on the web because you have uploaded your data, you have moved your data on the webs, and then at a hosting site. So cloud storage providers balance server loads and move data among various data centers, ensuring that information is stored close and thereby available quickly to where it is used. So another advantage of this cloud storage provider is that it will balance the server loads. As I told you, distributed servers will be used. Means the servers will be located at many places. So even if one of the server is crashed, you can get your data from other servers. And your data can be moved in various data centers. So even data centers will be linked to this. So your data is maintained at these data centers with proper security and all, with all proper updation, upgrading the services. It allows to protect data in case there is a disaster. So because of these data centers and distributed servers, server load balancing, so even if your data, something disaster events occurs, like flood comes, or if any of the crashes happens, or if the building is destroyed, so no to worry, because you can get your data, you can get the backup from other locations, other servers. Locally storing of critical information as backups does not help when sudden fire to organization. So storing data on the cloud is advantageous and good. So as I told you, disasters events, in case of disasters events, your data will be protected, like some fire to the organization, or flood comes and where it damages everything. So in this case, your data will be available on the cloud. So even if something happens to your organization, not to worry, because all your backup is available on the cloud and you can access it from any location using any devices. So Amazon 3 is the best known storage solution, but other vendors might be better for large enterprises. So Amazon 3 is one of the popular storage solution, and also there are a lot of other vendors which they are providing the storage facility in a very uh, affordable amount, in a very affordable charges. Next is cautions warnings. So do not commit everything to the cloud, but use it for a few non-critical purposes. See, when you're moving your sensitive data to the cloud, you should be also be very careful. So do not upload everything on the cloud. Do not upload all your sensitive data on the cloud. So do not commit everything to the cloud, but use it only for some few non-critical purposes. And should be, even if you are uploading your sensitive data on the cloud, be check that it is properly secured, and that organization which is providing you the facility, check out it is a very best vendor who is providing you, and very with properly secured. Large enterprises might have difficulty with vendors like Google or Amazon, because they are forced to rewrite solutions for their applications. So every organizations have their own rules and regulations. So you should go through the rules and regulations of every cloud storage providers. So this Google and Amazon, they are forcing the users to subscribe for their applications also, and use their applications when they are storing their data online. The biggest deal in cloud storage seems to be price and reliability. So, with the cloud storage, the price and reliability of services is seen. Check the services that will provide before you commit too much to the cloud. So, check what type of services they are providing and how much they are charging, and what type of plans they are providing, and so on. Legal issues are also very important here. For example, if you have copyrighted material like music or video that you want to maintain on the cloud, such an option might not be possible for licensing reasons. See, if you have some copyrighted material and if you move to the cloud and then you don't have that licensing facility in those. So the best solution is to have multiple redundant systems, local and offsite backup, sync and archive. So syncing, backup, archiving, this facility should be available on that cloud storage provider for the users. Next is outages. That means not available for a temporary period. Like some of the cloud storages may be not available for the temporary period. Means some damages have occurred or some repairing is going on. In such cases, within how much time the cloud provider services should be available to the user. So in case service is not available for the temporary period of time, so only for the temporary period of time they can use the cloud website, their website, for repairing and for upgrading and all. The result was client application going offline. So due to this, some of the client applications they have to stay offline. They cannot use online services. So in this case, no data is lost, and data store multiple copies of every object in several locations. So in this case, even if something repairing or something updation is going on of the cloud providers websites, then it is not going to lose the data. So because on it have the multiple copies saved on the data centers and distributed servers. Need some warnings when deciding to pursue a cloud options. Yes. So before upgrading or before maintaining these all things, you should warn the users that for specific period of time, the services will be temporarily out, so that even users will be alert and they can do their work on the time. Next is theft. So you should also keep in mind that your data could be taken or viewed by those who are not authorized to sit. Sometimes if the cloud storage providers are not good, if they're not providing the enough security, if they're not using proper security protocols, then your data can be leaked. Some unauthorized users can see it, or those who are working on organizations, those who are working with the cloud storage providers, okay, those persons only can leak your data, okay, because they want to bring down that cloud storage services. Okay, some of the such people can leak your data, okay, such types. Whenever your data is let out of your own data center, you risk trouble from a security point of view. So that problem arises. If you do store your data on the cloud, make sure you are encrypting data and securing data transit with technologies like SSL. So secured layer socket protocol must be used with this cloud. So even when you are accessing the website, when you are accessing the website, HTTP protocol is used, and this HTTP protocol is encrypted. So that's why it is secured. When you are accessing the cloud services through the websites, so even the browsers, which type of browsers you are using, even that is very important. So use the secured and fast browsers, because storage providers put everything into one pot. So to speak, your company's data could be stored next to a competitor's. So everything is available at one place. So if some of the cloud storage, the person who is working on the cloud storage provider side, he can leak your data because all your data is available on one platform. So in today's session, we have discussed about what is the importance of the cloud storage providers and what facilities they are providing, and how they are making the things easy for the users without carrying the physical storages all the time with them. In the next session, we'll see some new topic. Thank you.